Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, over 1,500 farmers and ranchers took time to come to the legislature and peacefully protest on the steps of this building. The government needs to recognize the anger and frustration that farmers and ranchers are feeling about the lack of consultation. Legislation before consultation or during consultation is ridiculous. Also, the mums and dads of small farms and ranches know more about safety on their land than any government can legislate. To the Minister of Agriculture, why don't you care about what farmers in this province are trying to tell you?
Minister of Labour.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. And I was out at the rallies both on Friday and yesterday. We're going to be, two ministers are there at the consultation today, and all throughout the week. The consultation is very important to us, and we're listening, and obviously by saying we're going to move forward and make explicit the amendment, that shows we are. This is a good showing of working together.
First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that two ministers stood up in the House yesterday and provided vague answers, creating more uncertainty about consultation with farmers and ranchers, and whereas non-information from their government has left farmers and ranchers across this province just plain mad about the way they're being treated, and where safety has always been important on family farms and ranches, will the Minister of Labour acknowledge, as columnist Rick Bell said, and I quote, "Those in government in charge of explaining things, well, they suck at it."
This bill, Mr. Speaker, has always been about safety on farms, and we want to work with the farming and ranching sector. This is about Kevin Chandler, who was killed in a farm accident, and his family with 3 young children. His wife struggled with 3 jobs, and the farmer lost his land and his way of life because she had no recourse but to sue him. This is a disaster all across the board. We want to make sure this never happens in Alberta again. Right. Safety on farms and having compensation for people when they're hurt or injured is so important.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that I am a farmer myself that manages 1,800 acres doing all the work alone, and whereas I understand the frustration that farmers and ranchers are feeling when I hear them say that their government isn't listening to them and that they want this legislation to go back to the drawing board, to the Minister of Agriculture, based on your actions so far, this government is out of touch with Albertans. And so how can farmers and ranchers of Alberta trust that you will be looking after their best interests when you bring in legislation that affects them without prior consultation?
I think we're demonstrating very clearly that we are listening and that we're putting forward an amendment. I spoke with, who was the organizer on Friday, said we want it in writing, Minister. And so that's what we're doing. We're putting it up front. This was always our idea to do it in the 2017 regs. But we're bringing it up forth because they asked us. I think that's listening, that's acting, that's respecting.